Detective Richard Blackwood was known throughout the city as a relentless and astute investigator. For years, he had been chasing down the most dangerous criminals, putting them behind bars. But there was one case that continued to elude him, haunting his thoughts even in his quietest moments: the case of the Shadow Killer. The Shadow Killer was a cunning serial murderer who left no trace behind, evading the police with ease and striking fear into the hearts of the citizens. Every victim was found with a single black rose on their lifeless bodies, a sinister signature that sent shivers down the spines of all who heard the story. The media was quick to dub the killer as the Shadow, due to the mysterious nature of their crimes. As the body count grew, so did the pressure on Detective Blackwood to apprehend the elusive killer. With each new murder, the city became more fearful, and the media scrutinized every move the police made. Sleepless nights and countless hours spent on the case began to take their toll on Richard, but he refused to give up. In the midst of the chaos, a shadowy figure emerged from the darkness, a vigilante determined to put an end to the Shadow Killer's reign of terror. Known only as Silhouette, this mysterious individual appeared to have their own reasons for hunting the serial killer. Silhouette seemed to have an uncanny understanding of the Shadow Killer's methods, almost as if they were one step ahead of the police. Though wary of Silhouette's motives, Detective Blackwood couldn't deny the results. The vigilante left a trail of incapacitated criminals in their wake, ensuring the police could apprehend them easily. Silhouette's actions, however questionable, led to significant breakthroughs in the Shadow Killer case. As the days turned into weeks, Detective Blackwood found himself in an intricate dance with both the Shadow Killer and Silhouette. Each move he made seemed to be mirrored by the vigilante, leaving him with mixed emotions. Should he be grateful for Silhouette's help, or should he view them as a hindrance to the police's jurisdiction? The detective's doubts were laid bare when a shocking discovery was made. During one of the crime scenes, Richard found a letter addressed to him, signed by the Shadow Killer. It was an invitation to a deadly game of cat and mouse. The Shadow Killer challenged Richard to find them, promising that if he succeeded, the killings would stop forever. As he mulled over the letter, Richard knew he couldn't handle this case alone. Reluctantly, he decided to approach Silhouette, hoping that the vigilante's intimate knowledge of the Shadow Killer might help them devise a plan. He left a message at a prearranged location, requesting a meeting. Late at night, in a secluded alley, Silhouette emerged from the shadows. Their face hidden beneath a dark hood, they listened intently as Richard explained the contents of the letter. Silhouette remained silent for a moment before speaking in a voice tinged with a hint of sorrow. "I have my reasons for seeking the Shadow Killer, Detective Blackwood. This case is deeply personal to me, and I need your word that you won't interfere once I reveal the truth behind this madness." Though hesitant, Richard sensed the determination in Silhouette's words and finally agreed. The two unlikely allies joined forces to unravel the puzzle, combining their skills and insights to understand the mind of the twisted killer. As they delved deeper into the investigation, a picture began to emerge, one of tragedy, loss, and a thirst for vengeance. Silhouette's true identity was revealed, shocking Richard to his core. The vigilante was none other than the younger sibling of the first victim, seeking retribution for the life stolen so cruelly. Despite the revelation, Richard admired Silhouette's dedication to justice, even if it meant taking the law into their own hands. The detective's perspective on justice began to blur, torn between the rigid lines of the law and the necessity for swift retribution when it failed. In a tense climax, Silhouette and Detective Blackwood discovered the Shadow Killer's lair, a hidden underground chamber filled with chilling mementos from the victims. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation as they realized the Shadow Killer was among them, silently watching from the shadows. A chilling confrontation ensued, and Richard found himself torn between upholding the law and understanding the pain that drove Silhouette's actions. In the end, justice was served, but not in the way anyone had expected. The Shadow Killer was brought to justice, but not by the hand of the law. Silhouette, consumed by their desire for revenge, took matters into their own hands, ending the life of the monster that had caused so much suffering. In the aftermath, Silhouette vanished into the darkness, leaving Detective Blackwood with a mix of emotions. He knew that the vigilante's actions were far from legal, yet he couldn't help but feel a sense of closure for the victims' families. From that day on, Richard Blackwood continued his role as a dedicated detective, haunted by the events that transpired but forever changed by the dance he shared with the shadows. The city moved on, but the memory of the shadow killer and the enigmatic vigilante known as Silhouette would remain etched in the annals of history, a testament to the fine line between justice and vengeance.